Okay, today's video is about fine-tuning your Forex trade entries with the Forex Early Warning trading system. We have a lot of resources on the Forex Early Warning website that discuss trade entries. But what we're going to do today is we're going to pull them all together into one place and to see if we can clear up any issues anyone might be having with our trading system. Over the course of a trading week, people send us emails, and like one person might send us an email that says, you know, I made a lot of pips this week. Thanks, you guys are great, blah, blah, blah. And then the very next person will send us an email saying they're struggling. And so we can't have that. It's the same trading system, so we got to make sure everyone is maximizing the number of pips they make. So in this video, we're going to use the Canadian dollar strength as our example. So our trade example. So if you get an alert, that the Canadian dollar is strong, it can be via a price alert, push alert, desktop scanner alert. All of our alert systems are on our website. And you check the Forex heat map, and the Canadian dollar looks like it's starting to strengthen. At this point, you can go check your charts on one screen, or you can use the Metatrader profiles. On the Metatrader profiles, you can see all of the Canadian dollar pairs together on one screen. There's 7 of them. So let's say, for example, you have a Metatrader profile set up on the 15-minute time frame, and these are your entry time frames, trade entry. All 7 of them will be on the same screen, okay? So you set up the Metatrader profiles for the Canadian dollar pairs. You can set them up for all of the currencies, but we'll use the Canadian dollar for our example. So the Canadian dollar is starting to strengthen, and now you've got all of the Canadian dollar pairs on one screen. Now this is a small screen here because this is just a snapshot, but this will be if you have a 20-inch screen, you'll see everything right across the screen, and you'll be really happy. You'll be able to see exactly what's going on with Canadian dollar pairs. Set up exactly like the Forex heat map. So if you use the Forex heat map and the smaller time frames, okay, set up side by side, your pip total should improve quite a bit. Let's say you decide to sell the euro dollar Canadian. You have 2 possible outcomes. If the trade just stalls and goes nowhere, you could just exit the trade within about 30 minutes. This is called our 30-minute rule. It's in lesson 29 on our website. The other possible outcome, and this is the more likely outcome, that you will make pips, and the euro Canadian sell trade continues down into strong pips, and all you're going to do then is move your stop to break even, start to scale out lots. You can see lesson 29 again on our website for those procedures. And then you can check the market later in the day to see if the Canadian dollar strength or the euro weakness, if you've got trends developing on these H4 timeframes or higher on these 2 currencies. Remember, you sold the euro dollar Canadian. You can just go right in your Metatrader profiles, check the higher timeframes on the euro or the Canadian dollar, and if the euro is weak or the Canadian dollar is strong across the board, then you should stay in that trade, because you can make additional pips based on the trends being driven by euro weakness or Canadian dollar strength, and you sold the euro CAD. That's exactly what you want. So here's your action item. Set up the Metatrader profiles by individual currency for the small time frames and the large time frames for all the currencies. You can go to the video that's on our website about setting up the Metatrader profiles, or you can just continue to watch this video and we'll show you how to do it. We've already shown you some examples for the Canadian dollars. When you're done, you'll be able to see all of the currencies that we trade, all 8 currencies, but 7 charts on one screen, small time frame or large time frame, and you'll be able to click through them very fast with the Metatrader profiles. Now, if you're not using Metatrader, that's okay. Whatever your charting platform is, as long as you have the same functionality to get all 7 charts from the same currency group with one common currency on the same screen, it doesn't really matter. You can use a different charting system. You could even set all of this up on a demo platform that's Metatrader. So you have to use the Metatrader profiles. Metatrader profiles are a must. There's 2 reasons. You can set up the Metatrader profiles on the smaller time frames to assist with your trade entries. Okay, make sure you have lots of momentum at the point of entry. And if you've never seen these setups before, you might think it's the best setup you've ever seen. So give it a shot, and we think that your trade entries and pip totals will improve. You can also set up the Metatrader profiles to look at the higher time frames, like the H4 and D1 time frames. So let's say you set up the D1 time frames on the euro pairs. With one click of a button, you can see them all, that they're pointing straight down on the euro pairs. You know the euro is weak, and you can fill out the Forex market analysis spreadsheet, another one of our tools, very fast. So you'd want to have it set up this way on Metatrader profiles. Another question we get a lot is, when did the movement start? You know, am I late on my entry? What's happening? Well, set up the Metatrader profiles and check it out. See, here's the pound yen, pretty good signal here on the pound yen, even the Aussie yen, great signal here. You had the yen is weak, but the Aussie dollar and pound, those aren't shown here, but they probably had some strength. The base currencies, probably the New Zealand dollar also. All of the yen pairs were consolidating. So you look at like the shorter time frames, like the M15, and you can see right when the movement started, you set up all of the yen pairs, okay, on the shorter time frames like the M15, and you can see right here where the movement started, and all of the yen pairs will be starting to move at the same time, and you'll see them, it'll be very clear. So, you know, you're at the beginning of the move, you know, if you get your first breakout point here, your second breakout point here, even a third breakout point here, you're hoping to get in maybe around the middle of the move. But even if you get in here, you're not going to lose. You're not going to get in any problems. You're going to check to make sure the shorter time frames are wide open, plus the Forex Heatmap, and you have a choice of, with this situation, you will probably wind up trading more than one trade. You'll probably take maybe 3 trades, and you'll have a small basket of yen pairs, and you will make a profit doing this. So this is the end of video number 1. This is fine-tuning your Forex trade entries part 1, and it's a 2-part series, so check out the next video, and we'll look at Metatrader. We'll look at how to set up the Metatrader profiles and all of the controls on Metatrader, and plus we'll look at example setups that show 7 pairs on the short and long time frames using the Metatrader profiles in part 2.